Hi everyone, it's Leah from Pickle Crafts. I just thought I would do a video today. So I am part of a bigger team on Stampin' Up and the Poodles team, and we recently did swaps. So every time we get a new catalog, we do a swap where we create usually about 6 cards, post them off to somebody else and get some back. So I thought that I would do a video showing my swaps that I made. So I actually made a choice of 3. So these are 2 of them, and I'm going to make the third one during this video. So my set uses 2 new stamp sets. So I used Peekaboo Farm because who doesn't love a cute little animal? I mean, anybody who knows me knows that I absolutely love anything cute little animals. So I use that, and then my sentiment, of course, comes from The Biggest Wish. So I like this because of the big phrases and the different options that you can do, and the fact that it comes in different fonts. So I don't have to use thanks in that big one. I can use it in a little cursive one or whatnot. So anyway, I thought I would show you how I made these. So for my 2 of the cards, I used the cow and the pig. And for today's one, I'm going to show you, I used the little ram, sheep, goat, ram. We'll go with ram, sheep. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we're going to use him. So for this project, I did Poppy Parade base, which is just half a sheet of cardstock scored in half. So mine is 21 centimeters across, scored at 10.5. And then the short side is 14.8. So I'm just gonna, that was scored, so I'm gonna take my bone folder, put the lumps and bumps on the insides and score it. And then I use the DSP that I used is a new pack. If I remember correctly, it comes under the host, so you have to spend £150 to be able to get it. But it's called Pattern Party Designer Series paper. Now this is a huge stack of DSP. Like, I don't think I've ever had, especially a 12 by 12 pack that has this many sheets. And all the sheets are colorful on one side and black and white on the other, which I love. I love all of the fun shapes. I think it's perfect, especially for the animals, because there are a few, like there's flowers and florals and stripes and some animal prints, again some leaves on the other side. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. So I'm using, well, what was this large sheet, which is kind of like flowers and fun, and I love it because it's mainly bright colors, or it uses a lot of bright colors. So this is cut to 10 centimeters by 14.3 centimeters. And I'm just going to give this, if my Tombow wants to work, just a quick little bit of glue just around the edges, and then I'm going to just center on my cardstock, my base, and thankfully Tombow gives you a little bit of wiggle room. It doesn't dry instantly, so it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. Right, so that's that piece done. And then I have a piece of Poppy Parade. This is measured at 7.2 by 11.6, and I'll put all the measurements in the description as well as on my blog, so you don't have to worry about that too much. As well as a piece of basic white. Sorry, it used to be called Whisper White, and I've just finished up all my Whisper White, so it's now called Basic White. And that measures 6.7 centimeters by 11.1. So I'm going to grab my stamps, and for my stamps for my ink, I'm using Memento Black, simply because I want to be able to color with my blends. And so my blends are alcohol markers, so I have to use a water-based ink so that it doesn't bleed. So I'm just going to ink up the stones and give that a quick little stamp at the bottom. There we go, like that. And then I'm going to ink up the little ram. And what I love about this stamp set is that the rocks give you a little gap. They give you little gaps so you can line up their little paws so that they look like they're just peering through. So yeah, their feet fit nicely into those little gaps, which is perfect. So that's my little sheep, ram, wall, whatever. And then I'm just going to color it in. So for this, I've used quite a different, let me bring in one of the examples. I've used a few different blends because I wanted to give the wall, it just looked like it had a bunch of different colored rocks. We have a neighbor down the road who's got a wall that uses, I don't know if they've used different types of glass and rocks, but their wall has just loads of different colors in it. So it's kind of where I got my inspiration from. So all I did was use a few different blends. So this one is my bronze, and what I do is I just pick a few different stones, and I just give it a bit of coloring with that color. Just spread them out. It really is so simple. And then I'll do this one down here. And if you want, you can do it a bit of a darker on one side or part of it. So that's with that one. And then for the next one, I've used my soft suede. So I've used my dark and my light. So I'm going to go over with my dark first. And again, I'm just going to pick a few stones. And this time I'm just going to give it a little bit of a coloring because I'm going to try and give it some shadowing. We'll come over here. There we go, that's for my dark. Now everybody does their blends differently. Some people color with the light first and then add their dark, but for me, I prefer to start with my dark and then blend out with my light. So I'm just going to start in the dark bit and just kind of pull some of that darkness out and down through my color. Of course, if your dark area gets too light, you can always go back over it. Some people do circles when they color it. I don't know, squiggles. There we go. I'm quite happy with that one. So that's those two. Then the next color that I'm going to use is my crumb cake. So again, light and dark. And I'm going to put these over here. Give it a bit of coloring. Yeah, just those two, I think. I'll come back with my light. And I think this light crumb cake, I think it might be on the end of this one, so I might have to order some more for it, but for now it does the job. There we go, give that a little bit of a, doesn't have such a distinct line. There, like that. So I've done those. Now for my next one, I'm going to go with dark and light smoky slate. So this is just a darker grey. And I'm going to do it, I think I'll do this one. I might do this little one next to him. And I think I might do this one over here. There we go. And with the light smoky slate, I'm just gonna, again, bring it down. So I don't know what it's like where you are, but I am sitting in Essex right now, and the weather is very miserable today. It's very rainy. It's actually a nice change. We've had a lot of hot weather, so it's nice to have a bit of rain and cooler weather. I don't have to worry about watering the grass today, which is nice. And then my last one I'm going to use for the rest of the rocks is my light and dark grey granite. So I'm going to just go with the dark in some of the areas. So just give it a little bit of coloring, a little bit there. And of course you can color your rocks, color it however you like. My daughter always loves to do really unusual colored animals and things, which is really funny. So if she were to color it, she uses like greens and blues and pinks, which is fabulous. I love her bright colors. And we're just going to color that one in like so. There we go. So that's my rocks done. For the actual outlining of the rocks, I have used dark smoky slate. So this was just a simple going around and filling it in. So it looks kind of like cement, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you call this type of wall. I don't know. Is there a type of name for this outside wall? I don't know. If there is, let me know in the comments so that I can call it the proper name as opposed to just a multicolored rock wall. What I love about blends is you don't have to be too exact. They will kind of blend into each other, which is nice. So I'm just going to go around the different rocks. This is probably the most time consuming bit of it all. But I love it. I think it's a me card. My people that I swapped with, the other people in our team, I hope they liked it. I must show, I got some lovely swaps. I must do a video to show those. And now I'm just going to go around the outside just to give it a bit of an edge. Doesn't have to be exact. You could leave it. I just like to make it, just give it so it looks like the rocks are all together. And then that's that. That's my wall. So now for my sheep. So I'm going to use my ivory, and this is going to color his horns. I guess he is a ram. I still want to call him a sheep because I think he's super cute. So I'm just going to color in his horns this color with the ivory, and I'm also going to color in his feet. I'm going to give him some ivory feet. Why not? And then I'm just going to color in his face, and for his face I'm going to use light gray granite. His face and his ears. Just to give him so he stands out a little bit. There we go. So that's my little ram colored. All ready to go. And now all I need to do is stamp the sentiment. So I am using, like I said before, the Biggest Wish stamp set, which is new in the new annual catalogue. And I am using the sentiments Hello and Friend. So I have them here on my blocks. And you can tell I've used them, so they've stained, especially if you use, I find if you use certain colors, especially like reds and pinks, they stain a little bit, but it doesn't affect their use or anything. It doesn't spread the ink or whatnot. So I'm going to pull out my two ink pads. So I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo because why not? It's bright colors. It's part of in the DSP. So I'm just going to ink that up, and then I'm going to put it centered and relatively up the top, and I'm hoping I get this straight. Way, so we've got Hello. My ram is a little crooked, but oh well. And then I'm also going to use Poppy Parade, which is another color that's in the DSP, and obviously the cardstock that I'm using. So I'm just going to ink up Friend, and I'm going to line this up. And stamp down. Oh. And there we go. Hello, Friend. Nice and simple. So I'm just going to close these because knowing me, I will end up putting my elbow in it or something. And then all I got to do now is just put it together. So I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow on the back of this. And I'm going to put it on my cardstock layer that I cut earlier. Again, all of the measurements will be in the description, so you don't have to worry about that. And then I'm going to just prop it up a bit. So I'm just going to grab some dimensionals. So I'm just going to pull off a few dimensionals. There we go. And I'm going to peel off the back. Right. I'll make sure I have my card open the right way because I am terrible for making what I joke as left-handed cards. And I'm just going to kind of center this a little bit as best as I can. That's a little wonky. Oops, let me just straighten that a little bit more. Goodness. I think it's because normally I either make everything straight on or straight to the side, and I think I was on a little bit of a wonk there. All right. I think it's the ram that's actually right. Yeah, there we go. So nice and straight. And then I'm just gonna put in a card insert, which is just a blank piece. Of course, you can always put in another sentiment. So, you know, this has loads of sentiments. So you could put sending hugs on the inside, or miss you, or anything like that. Life is better with you. But I think I'm just going to leave mine blank simply because I never know when I'm going to give my card to somebody. And this way I could use it as a birthday card or a thinking of you card or whatnot. And I can always stamp it later. Or if you're like me and you write a big message, you have the space to do that. So I'm just going to put it on the inside. Make sure it's nice and centered, and voila. So that is the third of the cards. So let me just grab the pig. And those are the 3 cards. Now when I sent my swaps, it was just random. I just picked up a card and sent it to that person. So nobody had a choice. They just got a surprise animal in the mail. But yeah, so same idea. Oh, funny enough, I actually did all the rocks in the same color. But the cow, the only difference is, so I used ivory for his horns and his nose, and then I used light basic black for his spots and his feet. And then just because I wanted to make his eyes and especially the indent in his hooves a little darker, I just went with the dark basic black blend. And then for the pig, I used, if I remember correctly, oh yes, dark and light flirty flamingo. So I used the dark for his snout and his hooves, feet, that, and the light flirty flamingo for his body. So yeah, so those were my 3 cards that I sent out for my swaps. I hope you like them. Let me know which one is your favorite. Do you have a favorite animal out of all of them? I don't know, the ram's kind of calling to me right now. But the cow is cute. I think they're all very cute. I think the ram's just calling to me today. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.